learned about probability in middle school. Okay, when you're ready, we're going to move on to page 2, and you've got some notation here. Notation is really important in math. We've talked about that, and it's going to be really important in probability because most of the time these symbols are what are going to be in the problem. You're not going to have the words, you're going to have the symbols, and you're going to have to know, well, what does that symbol mean so that you can actually answer the problem. Again, up here, we've got that we're going to use our curly brackets. So we want to make sure we're doing that. Let me get my highlighter out. We got our curly brackets, so that's important. And then these symbols are important. We've got A equals B. Set A intersects set B. Those are the elements that they have in common. When they intersect each other, it's like when two lines intersect, it's where they cross, they have a point in common. Well, when sets intersect each other, it's the things they have in common. This is set A unioned with set B, and that's where we join the elements that are in set A with the elements of set B. So it's not the ones they have in common, it's just any elements that are in one or the other. Could be in both, but if it's in A or it's in B, it gets to be in the union of A and B. This little tick mark up here, that means not. It's really easy to miss that when you're reading problems. I miss it a lot. But this says the elements that are not in A union B. Not. So I don't want elements that are in A, and I don't want the elements that are in B. I want elements that are not in either one of them. This other weird looking symbol, this E, that means element. So this element is in set A. This element is not in set A. That's how we're going to talk about what's in a set or what's not in a set. And then we have this sort of sideways U. That says A is a subset of B, which means that everything in it that's in A is also in B. So B is bigger than A. It's got some things that A doesn't, but everything in A is also in B. And then we have our empty set. There's nothing there, like rolling a 7 on a dice. That's not going to happen. So it's an empty set. We cannot create that set of options. Okay, now let's try some. We will go back over these tomorrow, but I want you to do your best to fill this in so that you know where your questions are and what you understand and what you don't. So we're going to be working off of this spinner over here. This is going to be our example for every single problem. And Joe and Sarah are playing a board game with this spinner. Each section of the spinner has a number, 1 through 4, and it has a color, red, yellow, green, or blue. So I want to know, how can I describe A? It's the subset A of the sample space. The sample space is our spinner that describes the spinner landing on a blue section. So we're going to call this A. We're going to use our notation, and we're going to create our subset using curly brackets. We have to use those curly brackets. So we're going to look over here and find all of the options that are blue. Has nothing to do with the number. We're just looking for the ones that have blue in them. So if we start over here on the far left, we have a 3B that's blue. If we keep going around, we come to a 4B. Keep going around, we have a 2B. We have a 1B. And that's it. Those are all of the options that have blue as part of them. We didn't care about any of the other colors. And we carried the number with our elements, but that didn't matter when we were picking them. We were just looking for the blue. Okay, so subset B. Subsets use curly brackets. And this time we're looking for everything, any X, any element that has a number 3 with it. So if we start back over here with this 3B, I'm going to highlight that so we know where we're starting. This is our starting point every single time. So we've got 3B. It's a 3 in it. So we're going to keep on going around looking for 3s. Got a 3G. Keep on going around. We've got a 3Y. We have another 3Y. Do you think we have to write that again? Hopefully you said no, even though you probably think it's dumb to answer me when I'm not there. But 3Y, we don't need to say that, list that again, because it's already listed as a member of the set. We do not want to repeat elements. Okay, subset C is talking about anything that is a primary color. Well, do we remember what our primary colors are? Our primary colors are red, yellow, and blue. Those are our primary colors. So we're only going to be looking for elements that have those colors on them. Let's see, where can that go? Put it right here. Primary colors are red, yellow, and blue. So we don't care anything about green. That's really the only one we're going to ignore. But again, we don't want to repeat elements, so make sure that we're paying close attention to have we already listed this before. So 3B is a primary color. Green is not. 4Y, 2 red, 4 blue, not 3 green, 2 yellow, 1 red, 2 blue, not 4 green, 3 yellow. We've already listed 1 red, so we don't need to do that again. 1 blue, not 2 green. We've already listed 3 yellow. We don't need to do that. Have we listed 4 red yet? Nope. So that is going to be our subset of the primary colors. Everything that had red, yellow, or blue. So this isn't really hard. You just have to make sure you know what you're looking for, what this element means. Okay, D, we're going to look at what subset describes landing on an odd number. Well, we know our odd numbers, 1, 3, 5, 7. But on this spinner, it's just going to be 1 and 3. So we just care about 1s and 3s. Again, we don't want to repeat, so we got to be careful with that. So starting at our 3B, that's an odd number. 1 green, not 4 yellow, not 2 red, not 4 blue. Put 3 green, not the 2. We've got our 1, not the 2, not the 4, but the 3. We already have 1 R. We don't need to repeat it. 1 blue, not the 2. We already have the 3, 3 yellow, and so we don't, and 4R is even. So this is the subset that describes landing on an odd number. Doing okay? We're almost there. You can make it. So subset E of the sample space, in terms of A and B, describes the spinner landing on a blue section with the number 3. So now we're going to start talking about combining. So we want to know A intersect B. If we look back at our chart, go back a page, the intersect is the elements that they have in common. So if we look at A and B, do they have any elements in common where they overlap each other? They both have a 3B, but that's it. These other B's are not down here in subset B. So when we're talking about where they intersect each other, trying to create set E, E is only going to be the element 3B. E is 3B. It just has one element, and that's okay. That is okay. Subset F describes the spinner landing on a primary color with an odd number, so where C intersects D. Looking at these two subsets that we've already created. Where do they intersect each other? We're going to call that F. And we're just going to go down our list. They both have a 3B, so that's one of their intersections. They don't both have a 4Y. They do not both have a 2R. They do not both have a 4B. They do not both have a 2y. They do both have a 1r, so that's something they have in common, so they can intersect. They do not both have a 2b. They do have a 3y, so we're going to list that. They're intersecting there. They have those in common. Do they both have a 1b? Yes. 1b. And they do not both have a 4r, so there are 4 elements that subset C and subset D both have in common. Because again, if we think back to our chart, that upside down U means intersect. Where do they intersect? What do they have in common? Okay, now G is just wanting you to generalize. If I ask you, how do you create a subset that describes the spinner landing on any particular color and number combination? What are you asked for? Well, the way that I there's the bell. It's 11 o'clock right now, according to my clock, but that's because that's what time I'm making this. How do we generalize that subset? And the way that I wrote it is that this subset is the intersection of a set with a specific color and a set with a specific number. So if I want to create a subset that describes landing on odd blue or yellows, well, I need all my odd numbers, then I need all my blue and yellows, and I need to see where they intersect each other. It's the intersection of a set with a specific color and a set with a specific number, and where do they cross each other. And then the last one that we're going to do, and then you've got some to practice for homework, is which of the sets described in part G are empty. So what specific colors and numbers don't actually have an intersection? We're going to have to go back to our spinner for that, and we're going to have to check pretty much every color. So if we look at our blues, which we already did that, we have a 1, a 2, a 3, and a 4. So it's not blue. Blue goes with every single number. Let's check our greens. We have a 1 green, a 3 green, a 4 green, and a 2 green. So we had 1, 2, 3, and 4. Why don't I mark these, especially with me not being there? So for the blues, we had our blues here. We had all the blues. We had all the greens. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Let's check the reds. We have a 1 red. We have a 2 red. We have a 4 red, and we have another 1 red. So what red were we missing? We didn't have a 3 red. So if we were to write that out, a number 3 intersected and a red is empty. And I'm going to have to draw that out with my marker because I don't have that symbol. But a number 3 and a red, that set is going to be empty because we didn't have that. And then if we go back and check our yellows, we have 2 3s, we have a 2 and a 4. So we're missing a 1. So that's going to be another empty set. Number 1 and yellow is an empty set. So there you go. I want you to try your homework. I know that I wasn't here to answer questions, but I did my best to explain this pretty well. I hope that it made some sort of sense. And I want you to try your homework and do your best that you can. It is the 7 problems that are on the back of page 3 there for you. Look back at your chart. Think about what these intersections and unions mean. We will go over the notes tomorrow. We'll also go over the homework, and if that's all we get through tomorrow, that's fine. but at least you kind of got your feet wet with it. Thank you for behaving. Thank you for doing what I expect you to do. I appreciate it. And I will see you tomorrow. Bye.